Be ready. 10 seconds to go. Start. Mr. Vice Chairman Sir, right from 1952, we have been following democratic system in elections and we should feel proud of it. But as the days are passing by, the democratic system is being affected and our election system has to be changed as it is creating disharmony at the social level of our country. Every one of you will agree with me and feel that the existing election laws need to be amended. But the question is in what way these laws are to be amended. On this, different political parties have different opinions. In this context, I would like to suggest a few points as I don't have more time at my disposal. Sir, I would like to refer to the expenditure incurred during elections. There are incidents where a single candidate contested from a parliamentary constituency spent more than rupees 1 crore. The election wave is spreading and so is the expenditure. As the prices are increasing, election expenditure is also increasing simultaneously. But as per the notification issued in 1984, the Election Commission had fixed a ceiling of rupees 1,50,000 as election expenses for each parliamentary constituency and rupees 50,000 for each assembly constituency, and if this ceiling is crossed it becomes illegal and the elections are countermanded. At present, the Election Commission is following this system, but I don't think it is a very practical since it cannot be effective. According to former Chief Election Commissioner Sri Ganeshan's estimation, the minimum expenditure incurred in a single parliamentary constituency is 1 lakh. So, what I would suggest that this ceiling should be raised keeping in view the social conditions and its practical aspect. I don't mind even if this ceiling is completely removed. This ceiling is not serving its purpose. The figures of expenditure are always shown below the ceiling, whereas in actual practice it may be much higher. In the very beginning itself, people's representatives are forced to submit false figures, their very first deed, even before entering the parliament, is thus a dishonest one. So, I feel that the better course would be to remove the ceiling of election expenses. If it is not possible, it should be at least be raised. Sir, my second suggestion is that it is better if government itself bears the election expenditure. This suggestion has been accepted by many political parties. At the same time, this is also opposed by some people who say that it will not reduce the election expenditure and will be an additional burden on the government exchequer. In Europe, in some countries like Germany, France, and also in Japan, this state funding system has been successfully implemented. But in my opinion, instead of giving it in cash, it can be paid in kind. For example, in the form of voters' slips, election propaganda material, posters, or public address system for election meetings. This again should be made available only to the recognized political parties. Sir, in our country, there are many social, cultural, economic, and geographical differences. The present system is not representing the people's wishes directly either in parliament or in the state assembly. Sometimes the party securing 40% votes is getting 70% seats, and sometimes the party securing 40% votes is not getting even 20% seats. We are witnessing this in many parliamentary elections and assembly elections. So, the present system is defective. Therefore, in my opinion, the system of proportional representation would be a better alternative. Of course, the system also has its own advantages and disadvantages. We have to consider the advantages as well as the disadvantages of this system. Under this system, one argument is that coalition government will come to power and there will be instability either in the center or in the states, and the leadership of the political parties becomes arbitrary and dictatorial. But what I want to say is that the party presently in power under the present system does not enjoy majority in parliament. Both in the ninth Lok Sabha elections and the 10th Lok Sabha elections, majority party did not come to power. We cannot come to the conclusion that coalition government will be a failure and will not be stable, because in West Bengal coalition government is continuing and is stable. So, I think that proportional representation system would be suitable for the country. Sir, elections are being held throughout the year in one state or the other. My suggestion is that elections should be held only once in 5 years, either in the beginning of the year or in February or in March for Lok Sabha. state assemblies, etc., should be held simultaneously, which would reduce the expenditure of government candidates and parties and prevent rigging and booth capturing also. Often it so happens that rigging and booth capturing takes place in the later part of the day, leading to clashes. In order to avoid this, identity cards should be issued now. Stop.